Let's keep it with the corporate voice then and bring on board Bharat Puri, the MD of Pidilite Industries, to decode their Q4, what really transpired. And Mr. Puri, congratulations on yet another good quarter. What's aided the strong volume growth in the consumer business despite having such a strong base?
Thank you. At Pidilite, we are focused, as we've always said, on steady volume-driven growth. We do see a steady improvement in demand conditions, especially in rural and small-town India. I wouldn't say that, yes, the market has improved tremendously, because do remember that we are cycling bases which include demonetization and pre-GST. I think the next 2 quarters will really show us whether demand has moved to the next level. But at Pidilite, as our focus is always on steady volume-driven growth in creating categories, and we've remained focused on doing that and therefore have registered fairly healthy growths across all of our categories.
Right. Can you tell us about the industrial business? How has it done this time around? We have been witnessing a recovery there.
See, as far as the industrial business is concerned, a large part of our industrial business actually caters to medium and small scale industries while also doing the large scale ones. In the fourth quarter, our volumes have actually grown 14%, and we're seeing some signs of recovery. But really, given that a lot of these businesses were disadvantaged or were having an issue vis-a-vis both demonetization and GST. Again, I think probably the next 2 quarters will show, but we are seeing at least green shoots of recovery in the industrial business.
Yeah, clearly the green shoots are already starting to pop up, and margins have also done very well in the industrial business. Could you tell us what aided that?
For us, the concern really remains, with crude having touched $80 a barrel, the currency headwinds that we have, and some of our specific raw materials are, especially the vinyl acetate monomer, are seeing tremendous cost inflation. So in our business, as we see it, the last 3 months and probably the next 12 will remain an issue of managing profitable growth, managing margins, while, making sure that we prioritize volume-driven growth.
With crude prices being at $80, what's the threat you get to your margins? Do you think they can slip below the 20% level mark?
See, we've always consistently said that we manage margins within a range. We believe we have the pricing power to manage within that range, but we tend to be conservative. I would like to manage pricing at about 75% of inflation, because, if you look at our margins over the last 3 years, they've been at an all-time high. We would rather prioritize volume growth over absolute margin. But having said that, we're fairly confident of being able to manage it in a band as in the future 12 to 18 months.
You've also time and again mentioned that you're committed to delivering a steady volume growth. Firstly, if you could tell us, what do you think will help you sustain that volume growth, and how is your pricing strategy shaping up?
Yeah, see, at Pidilite, what we're focused on is in most of our businesses, we're competing against non-consumption. We're creating categories. If you look at something like, say, waterproofing, 2 out of 10 Indians really waterproof their homes properly when they construct. So our job is consumer education and creating the category rather than, actually gaining market share from somebody or worrying about just the economic growth. Similarly, if we look at, for example, a lot of the other growth categories, whether it be rural and small town India, a large part of this is about consumer education. So in our case, we're focused on increasing consumption vis-a-vis our products, and therefore the focus has always been on volume growth, but profitable volume growth, and profitable as long as we are happy. If our margins are within the range, we are fairly confident of therefore being able to deliver those growths.
Right, so thank you so much for taking our time for us. Always good to get perspective. Let's focus on IT for a bit.